In a massive and powerful empire, a kind-hearted orphan maid named Zara had known nothing but cruelty. Her life was just a cycle of endless chores and non-stop abuse from her wicked boss, Mrs. Beatrice. But Zara had no idea her life was about to be turned upside down, all because of one small act of kindness. Life for Zara was strange. She lived in the sprawling, gorgeous estate of the Okafor Empire, a place with polished marble floors, priceless art, and perfect gardens. But her own world was small and miserable, defined by the constant nagging voice of her boss, Mrs. Beatrice. Zara was an orphan who grew up in the estate's domestic program, and Mrs. Beatrice never, ever let her forget it. Her days started before sunrise and ended long after dark, a total blur of scrubbing, dusting, and serving under a woman who seemed to find joy only in making others miserable. Mrs. Beatrice was just a bitter woman. As the longtime household manager, she ruled with an iron fist, but she saved a special kind of poison for Zara. Maybe it was Zara's quiet strength that fueled Beatrice's rage, or maybe it was just that Zara was an easy target with no family to defend her. "Faster, you useless girl!" Mrs. Beatrice would shriek through the grand hallways. "Do you think Mr. Okafor pays me to watch you stand around?" One afternoon, while serving lunch, Zara accidentally bumped a table, spilling a few drops of water. It was nothing, but to Mrs. Beatrice, it was an act of war. She leaped to her feet, her face twisting in fury. "You clumsy oaf," she screamed. "Are you blind? Look at this. You've ruined a priceless antique tablecloth." The other staff just looked away, too scared to get involved. Zara, her head down and her cheeks burning with shame, mumbled an apology. "Sorry isn't good enough," Beatrice sneered, her voice dropping to a low hiss. "You'll pay for this, no dinner for you for the next 2 nights. Maybe a little hunger will help you focus." Zara's meals were already tiny, barely enough to get her through the day. The thought of getting nothing made her stomach twist into a knot, but she didn't say a word. Arguing would only make it worse. She just nodded, cleared the dishes, and went back to the kitchen, feeling completely helpless. The abuse wasn't just verbal. Mrs. Beatrice would accidentally spill wine on a clean floor just to watch Zara scrub it up. She made fun of Zara's patched-up uniform, her worn-out shoes, her very existence. And yet, through all of it, Zara refused to let Mrs. Beatrice extinguish her kindness. She found comfort in sharing the little she had. Every evening, she'd save a piece of bread from her dinner and sneak out to the back gate. A scruffy little stray cat she'd named Leo was always waiting for her. She'd crumble the bread for him, and for a moment, she'd feel a warmth that Beatrice's cruelty couldn't touch. "I don't know how much more I can take, Leo," she'd whisper, stroking his fur. "She wants to break me, but she can't have this. She can't have the kindness in my heart." It was this secret ritual that kept her going. She shared her food with strays, had a kind word for the gardeners, and always managed a quiet smile for her fellow staff, even when she was exhausted. She had no idea that this secret well of empathy was about to be tested and rewarded in a way she could never have imagined. The day Zara's life changed forever started out completely normal, with the sound of Mrs. Beatrice yelling. A storm the night before had left a mess at the grand entrance, and Zara had the back-breaking job of cleaning it all up. As she was sweeping, an old man appeared at the iron gates. His clothes were basically rags, and he was stooped over, looking tired, hungry, and just defeated. He leaned against the gate, like he didn't even have the energy to stand. Mrs. Beatrice spotted him from the veranda. "Security," she bellowed. "We have a vagrant at the gate. Get this filth out of here." She then glared at Zara. "And you, get back to work. Don't even look at that trash. Give them an inch, and they'll infest the whole property." Zara's heart broke for the old man. She didn't see filth. She saw a person who was suffering. So, while Beatrice was distracted yelling at the guards, Zara acted. She had just been given her lunch, a dry sandwich and a bottle of water. It wasn't much, but it was all she had. Her heart pounding, she scurried over to the gate. "Sir," she whispered, pushing the food and water through the bars. "Please take this, it's not much, but you look like you need it." The old man looked up. His eyes were old, but they were surprisingly sharp. He looked from the food to Zara's face, a flicker of surprise in his expression. "Why are you doing this, child?" he rasped. "They'll punish you." "It's the right thing to do," Zara said, simply reply. "My mother always told me if you have 2 spoons of rice, you should always be willing to give one away. Please take it before they see me." The old man's fingers closed around the bottle. He looked at her for a long moment, as if he was looking right into her soul. "Thank you," he said with a quiet dignity. "Your kindness is a rare thing." Before she could reply, the guards arrived and shooed him away. Zara scrambled back to her work, expecting to get screamed at, but miraculously, Beatrice hadn't noticed a thing. A week went by. Then one morning the entire estate was thrown into chaos. A fleet of sleek, black cars rolled up the driveway. Men in expensive suits got out, looking serious, and leading them was the old man from the gate. But he was transformed. The rags were gone, replaced by a custom-tailored suit. His hair was perfectly groomed, and he stood tall, radiating an unmistakable aura of power. This was not a beggar. This was a king returning to his castle. This was Mr. Alistair Okafor, the reclusive, eccentric, and unbelievably wealthy founder of the entire Okafor empire. Mrs. Beatrice rushed out, her face a mask of fake smiles. "Mr. Okafor, sir. What an honor. We didn't know you were coming." She gushed. She'd worked there for 20 years and had only ever seen him in pictures. Mr. Okafor barely even glanced at her. His sharp eyes scanned the grounds. "Gather the entire staff in the grand ballroom. Immediately," he commanded, and within some minutes, everyone was assembled, whispering nervously. Zara stood at the very back, her heart starting to pound as she recognized the man at the front of the room. Mr. Okafor stood before them and said, "For 20 years, he began, his voice filling the room, "I have entrusted the management of my home to Mrs. Beatrice." She puffed up with pride, a smug smile on her face. "I believed she understood the values of this empire: integrity, humility, and compassion." His gaze hardened as he continues. "I was wrong," and then he told them all about his visit last week. He talked about his disguise, a test he used to see the true character of his employees. He described being called filth and trash. As he spoke, the color drained from Mrs. Beatrice's face. Her smirk was gone, replaced by pure horror. "I was about to be thrown out," Mr. Okafor continued. "I was ready to leave, convinced this place had become cruel and arrogant. But then, something happened." Every head turned as Mr. Okafor's eyes scanned the crowd, finally landing on Zara. "One of you, a young woman who had every reason to be afraid, showed me a moment of profound, selfless kindness." He motioned with his hand. "Young lady, please come forward." Trembling, Zara made her way to the front. She stood before the billionaire, her head bowed. "Please lift your head," Mr. Okafor said gently. "What's your name?" "It's Zara, sir," she whispered. "Zara," he repeated, a warm smile on his face. "Zara, in a house full of people who saw a beggar, you saw a human being, and where I was shown contempt, you offered me your lunch." He then turned to his lawyer, who opened a briefcase and pulled out a thick stack of documents. "As you know, I have no heirs. I've spent my life building this empire, and my greatest worry has been who will lead it when I'm gone. I've always believed character is more important than credentials." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Therefore, I've made a decision. Effective today, I am stepping down. A gasp went through the room. And I am naming my new heir. He took the documents from the lawyer. His next words hit like a thunderclap. I am leaving my entire fortune, my companies, my properties. Everything. To the only person who has proven herself worthy of it. I am leaving everything to Ms. Zara. The silence was deafening. Then chaos. Mrs. Beatrice just broke. She let out this horrible sound, half scream, half sob. No, it can't be. She's a nobody. A worthless orphan, she shrieked. Mr. Okafor's face was calm. On the contrary, he said, cutting through her hysterics. She's the only one who understood what truly matters. As for you, Mrs. Beatrice, you're fired. Effective immediately. Zara stood frozen, the heavy documents now in her hands. The words echoed in her ears. Heir, fortune, empire. Felt like a dream or a cruel joke. She looked from Mr. Okafor's kind face to the furious, defeated face of Mrs. Beatrice being escorted out, and then down at the papers. The first page was a deed, and on it, in bold print, was her name. Zara, the orphan maid who had just inherited an entire empire. The next few days were a complete whirlwind for Zara. She was moved from her tiny attic room into the master suite, a massive space with a closet bigger than her old room. Lawyers and advisors paraded through the mansion, their doubts quickly melting away under the watchful eye of Mr. Okafor, who stayed on to help with the transition. He became her mentor, patiently teaching the young woman who had shared her sandwich with him how to manage the massive empire she now owned. And it turned out, Zara was a natural. The same focus and attention to detail that made her a great maid now made her a sharp and observant leader. She listened more than she talked, soaking up information and asking smart questions. The disbelief faded and was replaced by a quiet determination. She had been given a fairy tale ending, and she was going to prove Mr. Okafor right. The staff, who used to pity or ignore her, now watched her with respect. They saw that the power hadn't changed her. She was still Zara, greeting them with the same kind smile and treating them with the dignity she had been denied for so long. One of the first things she did was call a meeting with the staff in the very same ballroom where her life had been changed. She announced a complete review of wages and working conditions, promising fair pay, reasonable hours, and health care for everyone. She created a new code of conduct based on mutual respect, making it clear that bullying had no place in her household. The applause was thunderous and real. But there was one last thing to do. A few days later, her head of security told her she had a visitor. It was Mrs. Beatrice. She was at the main gate, causing a scene and demanding to see Zara. After a moment, Zara told them to let her in. Mrs. Beatrice was brought to the study. She looked different. Her crisp uniform was replaced with a plain dress. Her hair was a mess, and her eyes, once full of anger, were now hollow and pleading. She stood awkwardly in the middle of the room. Zara. Ms. Zara, she started, her voice cracking. She paused. I came to apologize. Zara just sat behind the huge desk, the same one Beatrice used to rule from, and said nothing, just watching. Mrs. Beatrice kept going, the words tumbling out. I was wrong, I was cruel, I know. I was jealous and bitter, and I've lost everything. My job, my pension. I have nowhere to go. I'm begging you, don't let me end up on the street. I'll be a maid, I'll scrub floors. I'll do anything. The old Zara might have felt pity, but the new Zara saw the situation clearly. Beatrice wasn't sorry, she was desperate. This was just another performance. Still, Zara remembered what it felt like to be hungry and helpless. Vengeance wasn't her style. She then stood up and walked around the desk. I can't give you a job here, Beatrice, Zara said, her voice soft but firm. This needs to be a place of safety and respect. We both know you haven't changed, you've just been caught. Mrs. Beatrice's face fell. But Zara wasn't done. However, I won't let you become homeless. She turned to her assistant. Arrange for a severance package for Mrs. Beatrice. Enough for 6 months of rent and living expenses. After that, she's on her own. Mrs. Beatrice just stared and stunned. She had expected revenge or weakness she could exploit. She had not expected grace. She had not expected mercy that was both generous and final. Without another word, she turned and let the guard escort her out for the last time. Her downfall was complete, not with a bang, but with the quiet humiliation of accepting charity from the girl she had tried so hard to crush. Zara watched her go, feeling not triumph but closure. She walked out onto the grand balcony as the sun was setting. The empire stretched out before her, no longer a prison but a world of promise. And so, the orphan maid who once scrubbed floors now ran the empire, proving that true wealth isn't measured in gold, but in the strength of your character, and that a single act of kindness can literally change the world. Thanks for watching this story. If you enjoyed it, like this video, share and subscribe to the channel for more stories of triumph, justice, and incredible reversals of fortune.